Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Set Free from the Trap Ministry. I'm here to talk about hip hop. I know a lot of people are in love with explicit hip hop lyrics, don't seem to think it's nothing wrong. Those who rap about death and destruction in hip hop, that's not helping the hood. That ain't helping the hood. It don't matter how much bling bling or how much jewelry you got. That is not helping the hood. And a lot of people are in love with explicit lyrics, but that's helping the hood. Rapping about death and destruction in hip hop, that ain't helping the hood. It don't matter how much money you got in your pocket, or how many cars, how many jewelry, how many cars, that don't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, what does Jesus say about it here? I'm in Proverbs 11:15. It says, the way of a fool seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. So this is what Jesus says in his word. The way of a fool seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. Jesus Christ's advice is his advice is much better. But today in our world, people who got the microphone, who are rapping about death and destruction, and they think that's going to help the hood. Jesus said in his word, the way of a fool, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes. You can't talk to a foolish man or foolish woman who think they're right, because we have a devil, and a lot of people don't think the devil is real, but he is. The devil is blinding people's mind, who's picking up the microphone and rapping about death and destruction. And they think that it's helping the hood because a couple of yes men around them. It don't last long because they getting some ice and jewelry and cars and clothes. Those who rap about death and destruction in hip hop is not helping the hood. And the hood is not a location. The hood is a mindset. But Jesus says in his word about the spirit of foolishness. It's a spirit of foolishness in our world. The way of a fool seems right to them. So those who are rapping about death and destruction and those who are listening to it, they think they're right. They think it ain't nothing wrong with glorifying death and destruction. The way of a fool seems right. It seems right. There's a lot of foolish people in hip hop. There's a lot of foolish people in hip hop who are picking up the microphone, who are buying into their own hype. Don't believe the hype. Like Flake Flay say, don't believe the hype. The way, the way of a fool, the way of a fool is right to them. The way of a fool is right to them, according to the Bible. But the wise listen to advice. So a wise man or woman listen to godly advice. A wise man listen to Jesus. A foolish man or foolish woman don't. And the people who are listening to explicit violent lyrics, the devil is blinding the mind of the people who is listening to this. He's blinding their mind from God's truth. I'm praying that God's goodness and kindness and love would lead people of repentance. Repentance is letting Jesus Christ change your thinking. Repentance is letting Jesus change your thinking. You really can't talk to a foolish man or a foolish woman. Once the devil got somebody's mind, all you can do is pray. All I can do is pray that God deliver them from the foolish mindset. Because people who listen to these explicit, violent lyrics, the devil is blinding their mind too. The devil is blinding the minds of those who listen to explicit, violent lyrics. They blind to God's truth. 2 Corinthians 4, the God of this age, the devil disguised himself as an angel of light. He's blinding people's mind from God's truth. People who listen to explicit lyrics, the devil is blinding their mind. And the people who are rapping about death and destruction, rapping about death and destruction is not helping the hood. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how many cars you got, that don't matter. The devil is blinding the mind of the one who are rapping about death and destruction and the ones who are listening. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, according to the Bible. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes. You can't talk to a foolish man or a foolish woman according to the Bible. The way of a fool is right. The way of a fool is right. The way of a fool seems right to them. So those who are rapping about death and destruction, it seems right. But the way of a fool seems right to them. It seems right. But the wise listen to advice. So I'm praying for the foolish man or foolish woman that's blind to God's truth, and the one that's listening to the explicit lyrics that God's goodness and kindness and love will lead them to repentance. They will let Jesus change their thinking. Does repentance mean letting God change your thinking? This is Set Free from the Trap Ministry. Bye-bye.